Alright, so MrBeast is now sending cease and desist letters to people who are pretty rightfully outraged at what's been going on this week. And as well as that, we have new allegations coming from a huge YouTuber about the new Amazon show Beast Games run by MrBeast. And these allegations are pretty damning and definitely gonna hurt MrBeast if they don't get addressed very quickly. For those that need context and have literally been living in like an alternate universe for the last couple weeks, because this is pretty huge at the moment, MrBeast has probably just had the worst week PR-wise I think we've ever seen on the internet. To start it out, his co-host and childhood best friend just got exposed for being a PDF file. Then it was alleged that MrBeast apparently knew that his friend Chris was being a PDF file in a Discord server and did nothing about it, essentially neglecting the whole situation. Then this huge video came out by Dogpack404 alleging that MrBeast has been running illegal lotteries, faking his videos, rigging challenges, and so much more, with feastables and whatnot. But now we move on to another huge story, and that is that he or his team are now sending out cease and desist letters. Dogpack404, which is the creator of this huge video we talked about the other day, tweeted this out recently. Cease and desist response and update thread, and pretty much made this 2-minute and 30-second video. I can't play the whole thing because it's got copyright music, but I'll play the start of it. So pretty much we can see here, this is the cease and desist. Dear Mr. Dogpack404, you know, say to blah blah blah, you know, he had to blur all this out because it's probably got private information. Represents your former employer, MrBeast YouTube. I am writing to you regarding your recent troubling conduct following your involuntary termination from employment with the company on April 19th, 2024. Specifically, it has come to our attention that you have been disclosing sensitive, confidential, and I can't really say that word, information regarding the company's business operations and content creation methodology. So pretty much what MrBeast or MrBeast team is saying here is that this guy Dogpack is disclosing confidential information, things that he shouldn't be saying, which, I mean, I don't really think that anything in that video was really breaching anything. I'm not sure about that. All he really did was just expose the fact that you're faking your videos pretty much, allegedly, and that you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. I don't really think that he did anything that should be getting cease and desist letters for. So yeah, this is a pretty bad look on MrBeast's part, as if, you know, the company hadn't already been in so much strife this week in the first place. This whole cease and desist thing just took things to a whole new level.
So MrBeast's legal team did send me a cease and desist, and here's my official response to that.
Okay, Jesus Christ, MrBeast hiding PDF files at his company. So pretty much it's literally just 2.5 minutes of like a whole bunch of memes. I mean, you guys can go find this on Twitter if you want, but I can't play it obviously because of copyright music. But it's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And like we said before, this is a thread and there's a whole bunch of extra updates in this thing, so we're gonna go through them now. Some updates. I was originally going to expose MrBeast's philanthropy efforts for being more aiding private interests and boosting MrBeast's image rather than actually doing any good, but then in that investigation I came across something far more interesting that no one else has ever found. Part 2 will be far more damaging to MrBeast's career than part 1. Okay, so we're getting a part 2 of this whole MrBeast, you know, is a fraud sort of thing. I seriously cannot wait for that. Honestly, like, I'm not praying for MrBeast's downfall. I don't hope this is all true. I mean, who the hell on YouTube wants the biggest YouTuber to be a scammer and like someone who fakes these videos? No one wants that, obviously. But if it's true, I mean, like, I don't really care what happens to bro, to be honest. As far as MrBeast's largest fundraiser Team C's, it's pretty well known that it had no statistically significant impact on the ocean pollution. I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like we all kind of knew that. I don't think 30 million pounds of you know, taking that out of the ocean is going to really do much in the grand scheme of things. I mean, bro, you got to think about it, right? The ocean is huge. It takes up 75% of the Earth. We don't even know, like, the half of what's going on here on planet Earth, like, scientifically. So I honestly don't think that it's that bad that MrBeast couldn't make a huge impact on the oceans. I feel like that was kind of common knowledge. Still, people will say, oh, well, that's better than nothing, which, I mean, it is. This is a drastic oversimplification that doesn't factor in the time, money, and effort and carbon costs associated with raising the money and removing the trash. Also, where did the trash go? Landfills, where over time it will break down into microplastics that will blow back into the ocean, or recycling plants, DYOR, on why recycling is a lie. Team C's also prompted the false narrative that plastic pollution is a problem and solvable by people. people. Okay, so some interesting stuff there. In this interview with Marques Brownlee, MrBeast even acknowledges that it was not actually the impact of removing 30 million pounds of trash, but Team C is frequently advertised as a way to save the ocean. Look, I mean, I'll be honest here, I feel like this whole Team C's thing is a little bit of a reach so far. I mean, like, obviously no one thought that removing 30 pounds of trash from the ocean was gonna make a huge impact on the Earth. Like, do you know how hard it is to make significant changes on Earth? I mean, like, again, 30 million pounds of trash seems like a lot, but it really isn't that much. I feel like we all knew that at the time. I think this is old news. This video was uploaded by Team C's 3 weeks ago, continues to push the false narrative through intentionally vague claims. Team C's is proof that when huge amounts of people can get together to make things better on this planet, then big things can happen. No, Mark Rober, Team C's proved the exact opposite. It proved that even when there is a Herculean effort to reduce plastic pollution, even when all the largest influencers on the internet rallied their audiences to clean up a solution, it did not make any positive difference. I don't know about it not making any positive difference. I mean, I feel like it brought everyone together, like we all sort of said. Look, I feel like Team C's was pretty good. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that. MrBeast and Mark Rober also went on to promote single-use plastic garbage. This video by Stay Honest goes into more depth in this. Mark, I like that your content promotes STEM to kids. You seem like a nice guy, but come on. You should know firsthand that cleanup efforts like Team C's are useless, and this problem is only solvable by regulatory action like banning unnecessary single-use plastics. So why did Team C's never mention corporate pollution or a push for ban on unnecessary single-use plastics, and instead push the narrative that this is a problem solvable by people and cleanup efforts? Could it be that 50% of the money went to Peter Thiel-funded startup whose largest sponsor is Coca-Cola? Okay, so this is a pretty big allegation here. Or was your charity working for Coke? And this guy's pretty much saying, so Darren here, who is like the MrBeast philanthropy, like, I guess, ambassador or whatever. This guy, Darren, if you guys have watched MrBeast philanthropy, is like the biggest guy on the channel. Apparently he works for Coke. I mean, I don't know if this is true. This is all alleged. This is all just coming from Dogpack. But I mean, if that's true, like, that is pretty damning evidence. So yeah, look, I don't think those Team C's allegations are crazy. I mean, if someone there is, you know, having Coca-Cola as a large sponsor, and, you know, Coca-Cola is responsible for a lot of plastic pollution, then I guess that's pretty bad. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Now, yesterday we talked about how after Dogpack's original video exposing MrBeast, you know, the huge viewed one, 6-7 million views, a current employee by the name Chucky responded and saying that Dogpack lied about everything. I read that tweet out in my last MrBeast video, but apparently Dogpack responded to this tweet. If you haven't seen the tweet or haven't seen any of my MrBeast videos so far, I recommend you go and watch them for more context if you don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna assume that you guys know what's going on and you've seen this guy Chucky, who pretty much responded to Dogpack's video. So this is now Dogpack debunking your debunking. Good character assassination attempt. You leave out my unpaid trial period and also my time working for Idea Guys, a company for which MrBeast is a client. The founder of Idea Guys also had to get permission from MrBeast to hire me. So weird you guys wouldn't tell him I was erratic. Also, weed and shrooms is obviously a joke. Jimmy doesn't know more than like a dozen people. How do you expect people to believe this? How many people do you think his employees know? Who was the contestant in Train vs. Pit? How about Lambo vs. Shredder? How did Ava's cousin Justin get into the Chocolate Factory video or Della Vlogs? Yeah, that was a point that Chucky made that I didn't really understand. Pretty much he said that like, oh, Jimmy doesn't know that many people, so you know, how could he get contestants that he knows in videos? Like, come on bro, Jimmy has 300 million subscribers and a team of like 200-300 people. Of course he knows of more than a dozen people. Like seriously, that's stupid. CGI is clearly not a secret. Cool, so when Jimmy was accused of using too much CGI in Train vs. Pit, when did he deny it on Twitter? The raccoon was a paid actor. Bruh, do you expect people to believe that Chris and Chandler were just petting an actual wild raccoon? From your own source on the island. The transfer tax was $1 and the company also paid $27 in tax and fees for the property. You leased it back to the owner for $0. 1 plus 27 equals 28. Okay, so pretty much what they're saying there is that the $1 island is, you know, actually $28. I don't really think it matters that much. But again, this guy Chucky in his original tweet didn't actually, he didn't mention any of the most important stuff in the video. He just went for the most irrelevant points that no one cares about. Like, no one cares about the raccoon being a paid actor. No one cares about that. All we really care about is all the bigger stuff, like MrBeast faking videos and bringing in people he shouldn't and rigging game shows. Interesting how you didn't mention altering the timers or contestant dialogue in post. And that's exactly what we're saying. Like, no one cares about the wink being added in post. No one cares about the raccoon, any of that. You acknowledge that the contestants were not random subscribers, but you refuse to acknowledge the clear rigging which can be seen multiple times on camera. Please watch Upper Echelon's video analyzing existing case law regarding this rigging. Also, I've now heard from people on the boys team that they were fed much later than the girls and the production was clearly favoring the boys. This guy was meant to say girls here, that was a typo. Upper Echelon's video also goes on to alleged illegal lotteries, which he describes to be completely indefensible. You completely forgot to address those as well. So pretty much what Dogpack is saying is that this original tweet up here by Chucky is just complete crap. Which, I mean, after looking at Dogpack's response, I can kind of see why that is. Look, bro, I'm gonna be honest, at this point, I feel like MrBeast himself just has to reply to this because he's had his employee try to reply to it, and that obviously went to complete crap. No one on his team can reply to this, and no one can actually, like, clear this up. I feel like MrBeast just has to go into his second channel, which has nearly 50 million subscribers, and just make a video explaining everything. Make it an hour, make it 2 hours, but just debunk everything if it's not true, MrBeast. Because, bro, this is so bad for your brand. Like, I know you don't need me to tell you that, but seriously, this is all so bad. Everyone's dunking on you. Pegasus has got 10 million views in the last week talking about this. Like, seriously, everyone thinks that MrBeast is a fraud at the moment. Like, his reputation over the last week has gone from hero to zero. Now, look, this video wouldn't be complete without talking about this brand new drama that just happened, which is Beast Games. Beast Games is an upcoming Amazon show that is allegedly being funded $100 million and is a TV show with huge videos on it. It's pretty much like a TV show series where it's just a bunch of challenges and there's a winner at the end, blah blah blah. Now, Rosanna Pansino, who is a huge YouTuber and was actually one of the contestants in MrBeast's hide and seek videos, has been all over Twitter claiming that the Beast Games are pretty much just completely unsafe, and she has inside info to some of the people on the production team. Now, this first video is called I'm Being Silenced. So pretty much Rosanna Pansino made a TikTok about this whole thing, and it got 11 million views and then instantly just flatlined. And then the video got blocked in every single country but the US. So, I mean, some people think that this was MrBeast doing this, some people think it was someone else, but let's see what Rosanna has to say.
I'm on dog duty tonight. Alright, so this isn't quite the video I thought I'd be filming today, but apparently the first video I made about MrBeast and his Beast Games is being suppressed and restricted on TikTok as of today. If you hadn't seen that video, it is still up on my YouTube and Twitter, but it had around 11 million views on TikTok. I was simply telling one of the contestants' stories who talks about what appears to have been a very dangerous and mismanaged set. The video I posted is now only viewable in the US. It is blocked in every other country. I have not received an email from TikTok explaining why this happened. As of right now, someone is trying to silence me. I'll let you guys try and guess who would do something like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, I don't personally think that MrBeast would have gone out of his way to go to this TikTok and be like, okay, silence. But honestly, at this point, after everything that's come out, you know, I'm not gonna rule it out completely. MrBeast is huge, bro. He's probably got people on every single social media platform that just with a click of their finger can just snap videos out of existence. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if he did that, but I'm just gonna assume that he didn't. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe someone on his team accidentally did it, or, you know, it was something else, and maybe TikTok did it themselves. But look, now this video here, MrBeast Beast Games Keeps Getting Worse, is pretty much just a video where she exposes a whole bunch of stuff and throws out a whole lot of allegations, which are pretty crazy. So I need you guys to see this right now.
I just received a very interesting email that I wanted to share with you. As I mentioned before, I'm in touch with crew members and people working on Beast Games. I've also been in contact with the people who are the IATSE union, both in Las Vegas, where the first week of shooting happened, as well in Canada, where the next round will be shooting. For those of you who don't know what IATSE is, it's spelled IATSE, and basically they are the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, and they represent the people behind the scenes who make TV shows and movies. They have over 168,000 members, and pretty much every large set I've ever been on, it's IATSE crews. Now, I'll have more info on this in the future, but a higher up in the industry who I trust more than anything, literally, you guys, I trust him with my life, and I know that sounds dramatic, but that's truly how I feel about this person. They said that Jimmy and his team specifically requested that Beast Games be non-union. This is for a few reasons. Mainly so Jimmy wouldn't have to pay the crew benefits, but also these unions require very strict safety guidelines. From what I'm hearing as well, MrBeast's team was in charge of hiring the crew and they couldn't find enough non-union people to hire, so they were forced to hire union members. The MrBeast team still said they would not pay anyone's benefits. Dear members of IATSE, MrBeast parentheses Beast Games, aka Project Greenlight, has been deemed an unfair production. As per Section 12 of the Constitution and bylaws, parentheses see below, no member of IATSE is permitted to work on this production. He wants to hire union workers, he wants the quality, but he doesn't want to pay for them. In my opinion, and from the stories that I've heard, Jimmy pays very little and did not want to cover people's benefits. Amazon gave Jimmy $100 million to make this game show. That is plenty of money to make a safe show. And I want to know, where's the money going?
I mean, look, those are some huge allegations right there. Like, seriously, and again, that is a very good point. I mean, you've been given $100 million, you know, for this game show. And you're telling me that, you know, you've got union workers, but you don't want to pay for the union workers? I mean, this isn't even your own money we're talking about. You know, I say I could understand here, but you know, I couldn't really understand. It would be better, you know, more understood if this was your own money that you were talking about and, you know, you were trying to scam workers out of your own money. But seriously, it's not even your money we're talking about here. We're talking about $100 million from Amazon. Surely you can pay workers to make this whole thing work. I mean, seriously, like that's just my opinion. I feel like that's fair. Anyways, look, there is probably so much more that's going to come out about this, so definitely stay tuned, subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be covering so much more of this when it comes out. Anyways, click the video on screen right now because YouTube thinks you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you all over there. Subscribe.